Welcome everybody to the RGN Pro Series. We've got an excellent lineup of matches. Only two tonight, but both of them should be pretty fantastic as we're starting with Team Liquid versus Affinity. I am sprawled by my side, the one and only Laser Jesus, and a lot on the line here in this specific match. As currently, if we take a look at the groups, we've got Team Liquid. They are at 1-0, Affinity at 1-1. So big match here for Affinity as obviously if they drop it, their chances not going to be great to move on. And we do have Elevate already at 2-0 inside of this group. So, for example, Team Liquid take it. Either team, if they take it, they're going to move up to 2 wins and have a great chance of moving up here.
Yeah, the way I see it right now for Affinity is upset or die. And that's pretty much it.
It's going to be Dust 2 for the map, so maybe some upset territory here as we do see Liquid starting on the CT side, Affinity on the T side, and yeah, I'm honestly very excited to see how this goes as in a best of one. Again, tons of weight on this match, so I think these guys are going to be taking this pretty seriously here.
Yeah, so much on the line this match. Everybody wants to make it out of the group stage, and I was just watching the other match with Ace Gaming, and the odds for Ace versus Nylum is very slim, but I'll hold that thought as Affinity's coming into the B2 side. Bugly has good position in the back. Nitro already here to assist him. Not the best of nades coming in from Affinity, and as a result, Liquid using the range of these USPs and P2000s and little that Affinity can do, just eating flashbang time after time. Nitro walks away with the 4K. Great teamwork by Liquid.
Oh yeah, and he's gonna walk away with the Tech 9. Good stuff for Nitro. As
that's the best case scenario.
Oh yeah, nothing's better than the 4K, but there is one thing better. You get a Tech 9 at the very end, so he's gonna be happy about that, and actually decides to grab an M4 with it as well. Four SMGs, only 3 of which that make you $600. So obviously Fugly with the Pro 90. That's the only SMG that will not get you that kill reward. But oh my god, 4 quick frags as they try and come it along, and Arya just kills himself. Did that just happen?
You know, what else can you do in that situation? I guess you could try to get a kill.
Did he honestly just do that?
I wanna hope that it's a bind, but I think it was purposeful from Arya there. After seeing all your mates just get exploded by a nade in front of you, just your mind goes into the depths of despair, and that's it. You just wanna end it.
Interesting, very interesting. I don't agree with this decision, but if you'd like to do so, it is his match, and we're gonna see Liquid quick 4K here once again as the T side have bought up. Boy, was that a quick one, as Team Liquid basically treating it like it was an anti-eco, where they did have rifles on the field though.
And now Affinity already on the 4th round. I can't believe this is happening all so quickly. Affinity need to find their pairings quickly. Now to finish my point on pistol round, I was just watching the Ace Gaming match versus Elevate, and they, the last I spotted, it was in overtime with them. So that speaks of their chances against Nihilum. And I was writing them off. We were going to do, I guess I can't mention that yet, Chad, but I was going to do some analysis on that match, and boy, was I going to be wrong if Ace Gaming can play like they were against Elevate. But on to another eco round here. And Liquid, more of the same. Fugly, Elish, using the range. Little that Affinity could do. Arya, at least he's not going to take his own life again. And 4-0 for Liquid.
This is kind of a bizarre eco strat, I'm not going to lie. 3 people dead at top mid, and I just don't really know where they're going with that. But ends up being Team Liquid. Picking up another round here and doing so without losing a single member. And we take a look at all 4 rounds. Round 1 and round 3. Team Liquid lost 1 member. That has been the extent of the casualties for the Team Liquid side. This is pretty brutal to start things off. Affinity is going to have to wake up here as, again, we were highlighting how important this match is for them. You really need to buckle up a little bit, and they are going to go for a bot-up round here, going for a catwalk play, and they've actually found a nice timing where they can get onto A without these long players realizing it all. So now Elige playing at long with Flowsick. Flowsick's going to peek it out, and obviously knows that the bomb's set. They're going to lose Davey in mid, but good position here as they take back into Cat, take control of that real estate.
Yeah, the good part for Liquid here is when you have those 2 players at long, it's really easy to retake, and all you have to retake is Cat. However, Affinity has a player lurking in the back of mid here. Arya could change this round as Liquid starts to take up long. Everybody from Affinity inside the A site, all they have to do is hold this, and the rest of their Cat players should come through and assist them. Now just down to Elige, and that is exactly what happens. Wait a minute, is it planted for Catwalk? Yes, it is, and little time remaining, so Elige isn't going to be able to defuse it. Liquid with a nice retake effort, especially from long, but if Liquid can't retake Cat in that scenario, I mean, that's all Affinity have to hold.
Yeah, and it worked out great for them. They put a round on the board, and again, like we were saying, in good time, as Team Liquid was building up a pretty nice lead there, economically speaking, as well as the scoreboard at the top that obviously makes the difference. But 4-1, Affinity now picking up a round, critical that they follow it up with another round here. So, how do they go about it? They're going to send players up towards Catwalk very quickly. Arya trying to spot the cross, but wasn't successful at picking anybody. But on the Team Liquid side of things, they've got 2 players posted up on Catwalk, so immediately they react to the way Affinity was able to take in that last round. They leave long with just a smoke, and they stack Catwalk.
Yeah, now Affinity puts pressure on Catwalk, immediately drops back to hit it mid towards B. Good flashes from Liquid, though. So pivotal, or so critical, that Affinity take this one. Fugly and Elige have a nice pinch onto the players coming out mid. Elige just rattling shots away through the smoke. Arya gets a shot of his own through the smoke. Now Adren finds one with the AWP. Flosick on the way from middle. 2-on-2 here. Fox and Davey are hunkered down in the bomb site. And Liquid, they got some nades to work with here, but they got to utilize these flashbangs to their fullest extent.
Oh, that was a good one. As white screen is that player right under window, but Fox hears Flosick jumping. They start spraying in that direction, and now it's only Adren who will find a critical nade that will allow him to take down one, and he clutches the round. Huge victory there with 21 hit points remaining for Adren. 3K in the round. I'll start it with that first op frag. That was a good mid to B from Affinity there. They just couldn't hold in that end round scenario, and I feel like they did stick around in that mid location for quite a while, but they did have that player in sight to deal with. But once he goes down, maybe they just need to work a little bit quicker up into that site. But as soon as that smoke dissipated in CT spawn, that was where Adren started his success, picking a player after that smoke dissipated. So Affinity, they are going to be back on eco here, and that's not good news for them.
Yeah, very debilitating for their economy. They are going to find a nice timing on the long here. If Flosick's not careful, Affinity may get a bomb plant out of this. Now realizing that Affinity is at long is Liquid. Flosick lining him up here. Davey goes down. Flosick could have got more out of that spray. He's going to get another catch. Oh, and there is 3 for him. Dave does respond. Affinity has spot up a bit this round. Bomb plant would be massive for them, but Liquid is going to deny that. 6-1 now for Liquid. And like you stated, if Affinity didn't string the round together after they had won one, then Liquid's just going to continue beating them down via the economy.
And you can see they have enough to buy here, but in the one round where they were victorious, they had an op on the field, and now they're going to have to just make do with the scout on Arya. The rest of the players getting AKs. Got a decent set of nades here, and it looks like very aggressive down the middle lane there. Suicide is what it's known for, and usually because you're going to be punished for utilizing that, but it does get you onto Catwalk really quick, and you can see that they are already making it to elbow Davey. Ooh, I thought he was going to jump down into CT spawn. Isn't going to. Arya takes down Adren. There's Davey chiming in. Takes down Nitro and CT spawn. So this is looking good for Affinity. Once again, they're allowed to take up Catwalk. Elige still out long, has Flosick with him. It's going to be a 3-on-5. Lots of damage tees. That is the upside here for Team Liquid.
Now they're storming their way up long, joined with their player inside of CT spawn. Fugly gets one from the CT spawn. Affinity needs to fight back here. They're allowing Liquid to take up all these positions. It seemed like Affinity just took the pacifist route there. Nobody was firing back. Nobody was trying to trade with Liquid, and they were trying to take up, defensive positions, but the Liquid was taking it way too fast. Elige, the only challenge he received that entire time going up long was from Arya, who went for a jumping scout, missed it, and after that, Affinity tried to give Liquid long, but they were already way too far up for them to fall back.
Yeah, now 7-1 the score line. Affinity, they bought up in that last one, and they actually they did get a bomb plan as well, but it will not result in enough money for them in this round to get a buy-in. So they decide to go for just a standard B rush, and it's going to get delayed here as an incendiary comes down from the 2 B players. We got Fugly and Nitro.
This is just painful to my eyes, Chad. If you're going for a B rush, you go for it. You don't fall back.
Yeah, the only reason I can maybe agree with it is they don't have armor with it, and incendiaries, when you have armor, it doesn't do a ton if you can kind of hop your way through it, but without it, it does do a decent amount of damage. That being said, with 5 players, you might be able to make it work, and again, like you had stated, if that's the call, probably stick with the call. But they are going to mix it up, and they're allowed to get up catwalk once again here. So this is turning out to be a trend. Even on their eco round, the liquid end of things, they will allow them to get that real estate. So we'll see if that comes into play more and more as the rifle rounds continue. But at least in this one, Abe with the only frag, and Team Liquid able to clean things up.
Yeah, a lot of Affinity's eco rounds are looking broken. I wasn't paying attention too much at the start of the round, but you called that it was supposed to be a B rush, and if that's the case, even if they have to run through a Molotov, you got to commit early on these eco rounds. If you try to spread out and go for picks, if you don't have like a pop flash or something like that set up, you're gonna fall apart. And I mean, you're hoping that you win the aim duels against Liquid, who's more equipped. I just don't see it panning out for Affinity. But we are on to another gun round here. Affinity trying their luck at long. Liquid have the smoke up near blue bin, makes it really difficult for the T side to attempt any trades or picks for that matter. And continuously bombarding long is Liquid with smokes. And now Flowsick getting a little bit too aggressive, trying to utilize those smokes a bit too much, and now has given Affinity a rally to work with. Arya now utilizing that off, and Dren tries to follow it up. Liquid just threw everything at long.
They certainly did, as Fugly left as the last man on the field. Coming through CT spawn. Got Davey coming in from behind, though. Davey's going to spot him out. Tries to take the one-on-one, but loses it now. Coming across. It's going to be Arya to end him through the smoke with the pistol. Nice shot there as Affinity. They put their second one on the board. The issue with it is, look at the CT side economy. They have so much money to play with here that they are going to get a full buy-in, and that doesn't even 100%, it actually does. It depletes their economy pretty good. They got Fugly with 6,500, Liege with 4,400. But other than that, they are going to be a little bit on the lower end. So Affinity, big opportunity here. They definitely want to get to the point where they drain the economy, get the CTs onto eco, start building up their scoreline.
Yeah, it's almost a requisite at this point that they win this round. Because Liquid, if they put him back on eco, it's not gonna have too much to work with after that. However, Fox did spot out the NOA stat. Nice work by him. Generally, that favors the CTs. That's why you do it at mid. And you sacrifice a little bit of B presence to go for an early pick at mid, but it goes the way of Affinity on a very important round that would have massive implications if they did win it. Liquid not out of it, though. Affinity thinking about heading back mid towards B, where only one player lies in wait. That's Fugly. Big fragger for Liquid, and he has a lot to do this round. Takes the fight with Jason, wins it. Affinity aren't pulling the trigger over towards B. This is allowing Fugly to set up, and perhaps Liquid more time to rotate.
And Incendiary goes down as Fugly. Still defending here. Arya coming out mid, as he's got an op in hand. Might be able to find an opportunity here towards long A. He's going to whiff the shot, though. And that's going to alert Liquid that there is some mid-present. Fugly with two huge frags. Making a third. Fugly, all by himself, ends up with a 4K in the round. Apparently, he can hold that bomb site by himself. No big deal.
Heartbreaker for Affinity, too. That round, they got the opening pick, and then they just didn't pull the trigger on B. Of course, they were in the dark a bit. They didn't actually have numbers of like how many were in B, but they hit the correct bomb site, just a little bit staggered, and Fugly, with 2 bullets remaining, hits the jumper. Crazy stuff from Fugly, and that's why he's one of their bigger fraggers. Arya goes down inside of mid, trying to spot for some information, doesn't gain anything. And he may have been the pop flash for mid. Oh, Adren's getting pretty aggressive. Affinity might be able to hang an AWP out of this. They do get it. Liquid trying to respond, trying to keep that AWP out of Affinity's hand. And it looks like they have succeeded in that. Anger's not in this match. I don't know what made me think of that. But Liquid take another one. Fugly, as well as Nitro, cleaning the rest out.
10-2 here. Affinity looking bleak here on their T side, as Team Liquid show no signs of letting up. They have produced a very convincing half here on their CT side. Affinity, they might be able to do it on their CT side, but again, they have left themselves very little room to do so. Really need to try and scrape together at least 5 in this half to be able to come back into things, take pistol, and go from there on out. But where did they go in this round? They're going to stack towards long A, and Flowsick, he decides to push through here. He might have either an opportunity, or he might just straight up go down. They are so grouped up right outside of the door. Flowsick just going to let it go. He takes down 2 of them, and boy, did that work out great for him.
And he threw a really cheeky smoke there. He was inside of the long, or in between the double doors at long, and then he throws a smoke backwards to prompt Affinity to try to take in a little bit, gain some real estate. Yeah, super slick by him. Mind games in full effect. Abe, last guy up, only gets one before he meets his end. And Liquid, 11-2. Man, it's just so unfortunate for Affinity, and it speaks to the economy game. When you win that round, you have to put more together. Otherwise, Liquid's going to be right back in the driver's seat every single time. And this is a perfect scenario for Liquid. Of course, 15-0 is the objective, but that rarely happens. And as long as you can win the round after Affinity wins one and you adapt to them accordingly, then it's going to be Liquid all day.
Yeah, they've been doing exactly that. And the T side on the 14th round here, they are going to buy up everything they can, but as we can see, not exactly optimal equipment, as already they're extremely tagged up. They're going to send a ton of nades into this B-bomb site, though, as Adren going to open up, finds Arya. As they come into this B-bomb site, though, it's only going to be Jason R, as Fugly connects onto Nitro with one as well, and no fun for Affinity. Everything seemingly to be on lockdown status for the Team Liquid front, and they just haven't even had very many opportunities with the rifles they wanted anyhow. They have had a few, obviously, but like you were stating, with no rounds strung together, it gives you very little opportunities to actually have the weapons in your hand and utilize those strategies that you really want to, and as soon as you're on eco, it's like, well, it's a much different ballgame, that's for sure.
And you have a player like Fugly on point over towards B. So hard to just fall back and hit that bomb site because you know you're going to probably lose multiple players to that one guy. Really important that Fugly is on point. Continues to impress me over at this B bomb site. But last round here, can't call it quite a gun round from Affinity. They have got what they could. Trying to creep his way out middle as Davey eats a big nade. I don't see this working for him. He might have found the window. Had been closed in time, and now Fox and Abe on opposite sides of the map, and trying to go for an entry on each side. Not much they could do here. Fox does get the entry onto Fugly, but they could have used that the entire early portion of the half. Much too late from Affinity. Better late than never. I don't think it applies in this situation. Fox does get another one, but Fugly has already traded off so much of his HP. 10 HP in a 1-on-3. He does have the time, but that's the only thing he has.
Yeah, exactly. As he's rotating through T-spawn here. Does have the bomb on his back. Might be able to make it across. I don't know.
He crossed in time.
Yeah, I think Nitro just barely missed the timing there. So Fox has the ability to just make it all the way up long and should be at the very least to get a plant. But again, it is the last round of the first half here. So victory is the only thing he's interested in. And they actually already put it right in CT spawn. Fox, nice shot as he takes him down. But Nitro comes in with the trade, and that is going to be that 13-2. Affinity currently getting brutalized on this map choice, and I do want to talk a little bit about Alpha Draft here, one of our partners here at RGN. For this specific set of nights, we actually only had the free battleground open for business if you wanted to get a roster together and stuff. And again, if you haven't heard of Alpha Draft, it is basically esports fantasy. So if you've done any sports fantasy in your past, you're probably going to find it very intuitive that you just pick 6 players that you think are going to be running for a set of matches, pick a team as well, and again, there's a number of different contests for a number of different entry fees. Again, if you're new to it, try the free one out, though. Again, that was the only one that was active here tonight, and I do believe, I think I put Fox on my, I think Fox and Davey are on my team, and it's not really looking so good, but anyhow, right. At least it's not Jason R, right? 1 and 15.
Oh god, that hurts. Well, anybody that you're picking from Affinity at this point is losing you points. Yeah. Sadly enough. Well, I guess they could have got you a few if they got some, triples or quads.
That's
something.
True. I do have a Legion Fugly though, so there we go. I got people the best of both worlds. So.
Oh, I messed up, man. I messed up. Coming into B here is Liquid, looking to end it early. Abe coming in from the site. Nitro gets him. Where's his assistance? Nobody there in time. And Fox is going to have to forfeit the bomb site. Nitro on the cross, and he's looking for more. Nitro, a man filled with disrespect for Affinity at this point. They're all just taking the fights. This is not what you're supposed to do in this situation, but Liquid just on top of their game and just bursting with confidence at this point.
Yeah, this is, again, a bit of a brutalization, and like we had stated, Affinity, their hopes of getting through groups ride on this map, and they're 14-2 currently. That is not a fun situation. Team Liquid gonna be feeling pretty darn fantastic as Fugly through the door.
Insult
Add
to
insult to
injury.
injury. That is exactly.
Wow, Chad. We've been casting
great
too
minds
much
think
together.
alike, right? Oh, Abe later through the door. It's going to be Davey and Fox, though, able to find 2 frags for themselves. So it is going to be a 3-on-3. And honestly, it's pretty similar equipment on both sides here. Actually, very, very similar. As Jason R, if he just had an SMG, would be on similar pages. But it looks like the bomb is going to get dropped to Liege in lower dark. Now Arya can camp on top of it. So Fugly and Flowsick left to try.
Oh,
and
Davey.
Flowsick, wow. He probably did not expect that at all, and he's going to be sitting on the bench, only Fugly in a 1v3.
Yeah, that was neat by Davey. Let's not count Fugly out of this, though. He does have a lot of time left. He has position on Davey, but Davey alone. Jason R is hurt, and Fugly, highly mobile here, is zooming around with that scout scoped out. Rip the AWP, can't do that anymore. Fugly does grab the bomb. And he can take out Davey here, make a move. He's about to get flanked, however. Yep, there it is from Arya. So Affinity take their first CT round on the back of an eco. Or could have been a force buy. Yes, it was a force buy. So now Liquid, they still have a ton of rounds. Shouldn't be worried about anything. Save up, don't force buy. Make sure you got everything you want. Get an op in a Dren's hands. And then go for the W from there, and Affinity survive with everybody this round.
Yeah, they certainly require that, as it looks like we're going to see a B-side play, but Incendiary gets dropped, and they reroute down into lower dark. I imagine that this was the plan from the get-go, as they do have a couple of flashes and a smoke, and Dren going to be able to utilize that for actually interesting. So they decide to actually boost up on the catwalk, avoid middle completely, so just wanted to get there without taking through mid. Not a terrible idea, as a little bit safer the way they did it. And here they go. They're just going to book it on out. Fox gets
This is the
dropped
eco
immediately. They all just jump into CT spawn, argue with 2. But, yeah, I like it. Dren getting the bomb planted. They already have 2 frags. Flowsick looking for a 3rd. But good stuff nonetheless, even though that was the extent of their success.
That was a cool eco strat from Liquid.
For sure.
I really like that. They went from lower B, attempted to jump everybody on top of the Xbox. Some of them, I guess they don't have it down. They had to take the long way. So Liquid were planning on doing that a lot quicker, and they're trying to make all the noise that it's going to be a mid to B. So you draw the player into CT spawn, attempting to rotate either the catwalk or one of the long players, and then they rush up catwalk, drop all 4 players into CT to try to get the trades there, and while that's happening, they try to sneak the bomb into the cat plant spot when it's all smoked up. Really creative stuff, and that's what you need to do on eco rounds. Get creative. Don't just rush something. If you're gonna rush something, throw a pop flash. Just do something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I hate to put Affinity under the light here, but again, on their eco rounds, it wasn't really anything that creative. We saw multiple rounds where they were in top mid just trying to take these fights where you're just not going to win those. It's long distance battles when you have pistols against rifles. It's just, you're putting yourself in a very unfavorable spot, whereas, again, you see how Liquid decided to, they take up catwalk and they drop into CT with some of the players, again, all of which are very close ranged angles that will favor, and especially the surprise aspect as well, as Fox had a number of players just dive bomb into his face. So anyhow, next round is underway, and we do see a buy coming in from Team Liquid.
Yep, thanks to that bomb plant, able to buy up here. Now taking control of the catwalk. Chucking some nades out mid, just gathering position. Affinity going for the long play. It's a bit of a 2-1-2, kind of. I guess you can call it a 2-2-1 with 2 players at mid, but we do have a B flank underway. Flowsick is watching it. I don't think Abe's going to be ready for this angle. Like, Flowsick forgot to shoot. Maybe his hand wasn't on his mouse. I'm not too sure what happened. But now they do have eyes on Abe, and he gets out of there. So a lot of information for Affinity.
Yeah, I think Flowsick's having some latency issues. I think that's why the pause came in initially for that round, as he went up to about 150 ping, and as soon as that engagement was about to take place, I saw his ping shoot up to over 100 once again. So I think on his screen,
that was a sure kill.
And I love that angle from him. There's a specific angle that Get Right uses where it's actually on top of those boxes, and the reason it's so potent is 99% of the players, as they come out, they're going to check left, but right after they check left, they check right to the boxes to the right, and you're vulnerable to the person on top of that box. It's an excellent angle to hold. If you ever want to be a lurking role in matchmaking, that's the place to be. But anyhow, Abe onto Liege. Yeah, exactly. You'll piss off a lot of people that way, but nonetheless, it's going to be a Dren onto Davey after Davey got one. So it is going to be a 3-on-3 as Fugly connects onto Jason R as well. They're getting the palm planted here. It's a bit of a catwalk plant. Interesting plant position, to be honest.
Yeah, they do lose long. Fugly goes down. Now everything left up to the cat players. Adren, oh man. Arya's teammate misses the shot, and now Adren is going to clean up two of his teammates, just one. Now Flow-Sick. The double kill with the nade. Oh, I saw it coming, but I didn't want to believe it. Fox and Abe. Liquid with another heartbreaker. That nade just... Along with it comes the end of Affinity. That's so unfortunate.
All I could think is I saw that Flowstick had his nade. I'm like, oh, the pizza nade would be perfect here. Just hit that pizza sign. It lands right on sight, and they perfectly both jump onto the platform. Wow. Excellent timing. Unfortunately, we're going to lose Flowstick at the start of this round. That's not so fun, but see if they can make it. Of course, if you're looking at the downsides to playing 4-on-5, it's much worse to play 4-on-5 on the CT side than the P side. So I actually don't think that, as much as it is a disadvantage across the board without a fifth player, this isn't as bad as it could be. But, of course, Flowstick, I'm sure they're going to want to get him back in this next round.
Oh, if they don't, unless his teammates can close it out. Yeah, Liege goes down, and Adren and Nitro remain here. Let's see if Nitro can do this 1 versus 3. And where are the CTs here? They do have 2 scopes. Nitro just barely gets the bomb. It'd be nice if you can grab that like weapons, but yes, you still gotta pick that up with your legs. I don't know what's up, Valve. Should be able to pick that up. Coming long. 1-on-3 here again. Jason R is the guy watching the cross. He does have Fox along with him. I'm wondering if Jason R is gonna try to slowly bait Jiggle Peek and take the fight, or if he's just gonna try to book it and try to get the bomb plant, more money for his team next. So he is gonna flash. Is he gonna run across? He's gonna go for it. Gets tagged up a bit, takes the fight under Fox, finished off by Jason R. No, Affinity only needs 10 rounds, Chad, only 10.
Only 10. Such a small number, right? As, oh, we're going to have to wait for Flowsick to get back in here. We're going to have a pause coming in, not a big surprise. And Affinity, they will have the luxury of facing off against a less than optimal buy from the T side. And they're going to be on eco here, so they can bring things back a little bit. But, yeah, like you were suggesting, 10 rounds to bring it back. It looks a little unlikely. That being said, I just don't even like using that word anymore, because every time that we've painted that in the past, I can bring up some SKDC matches and such. Yeah, it's kind of gone the other way. So who knows what's going to go on here in
they're gonna
Liquid.
Play it out.
Interesting. They're just going to go for it with the 4 players that they have. And interesting decision, but we'll see how it goes for them.
Yep. Rip anybody who has Flowstick on their alpha draft. Unfortunate for you that Liquid wants to finish it up 4 versus 5, as you get points for the stand-in of whoever DCs if you have them on your roster. But Liquid here, confident play. Maybe they're just trying to get the eco rounds out of the way before Flowstick comes back. I don't know. Now grouping up for the deep take, waiting for the Molotov. Now plus through first player takes to the skies. Not going to matter. Abe with 3, finishes off with 4. Now Liquid, this is a dangerous spot and a really confident play from them. Borderline arrogance, really.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Abe actually got a nice ace in that last round. I just spotted that as came across the top of my screen. That was highlights, so good stuff for him. And, all right. Well, yeah, we're getting here from our admins that Flowstick is having issues, but Elish says, we got it. We are good. So, apparently they are good. And Flowstick is back in the match. So that's good to hear and good to see, as they will be on another eco here.
Ooh.
And it's going to be Arya picking up 1. Fugly. Nice eagle shot, though. Takes down Fox. So 3-on-4 is, yeah, they're trying to make this as expensive as they can for the CT side, as still Affinity has not been able to gather much of a bank.
Yeah. It's surprising, really. But economy is not as important when you're on your when you're on the ropes, and 1 round is gonna, if you lose 1, you're done. So now on to another gun round. How many gun rounds do Affinity have to win? Probably around 5-ish. Maybe, and when Liquid get all that round loss bonus in there, 4 or 5 gun rounds. That's a whole lot for Affinity, and we haven't seen Liquid really open up yet on their T side. And they go for the triple AWP setup. Liquid, so confident from them. If this is an actual strat from them, I'd be quite surprised. And Flow6 is back into La La Land, wherever he's residing right now, doing the drunken CS player dance, just skipping around. So it's quite comical, and look at this from Affinity. They're just, usually when you're on the ropes, you're more tentative, but not the case with Affinity. They're just going for it.
Arya comes up and he's like, well, I don't know what this player's doing, but I'm going to kill him. As Flosic goes down, as he had just gathered an AK-47, but not able to do anything with it. So now, down, well, a player that wasn't really doing anything anyhow. Now Team Liquid in a bit of an awkward predicament in that they have to gain the advantage already at a 4-on-5, and there we go. Nitro gonna come up with a big frag there as Fox on the other side of this catwalk smoke, but oh, Nitro's gonna hear that smoke go down, so knows there is a presence there. Finds another one to Arya. Beautiful shot there as I'm remembering back to Dust 2 Nitro in one of our plays clip where you're like, Adren's gonna have to put down that op as Nitro's hitting all the shots here, and he's doing some big things in this round as Fugly chimes in with his AWP, leaves Jason R last man alive. Nitro with his triple. Is he going to find Jason R? He is going to try and move his way onto A platform, but it's Fugly to end it. And apparently, Elige was on the money when he said, we are good. No problem at all.